Guys, I'm really scared. I think I saw a ghost. Ah! Hello everyone, Vampire218 here, and I am super hyped to be bringing you a new series on my channel. As you can see from the overlay, this is going to be top 5 and within a specific tier of a certain type. I've chosen to do Ghost type, very solid type, very good in Draft League format. I've chosen to look at the top 5 tier 5 Ghost types. Now, please be aware that this video, these selections, and all of my videos within this series are going to be 100% my opinion. So they are not solid. Now I'm aware that the GBA has gone tierless, so I'm using modified GBA Season 6 to adapt for Season 7. This is what we're using in the IEL, this is what we're using in the ICL. This is the tier list, so the link to that will probably be in the description. Yeah, probably in the description. I took the doc from the Dallas Star Use, so make sure that you check out his channel. His channel will be in the description too. And I think this is the standard for most leagues now for docs. Either way, this is our tier 5. As you can see, we've got a lot of mons within it. So, you may be asking yourself, where to start? Well, right here. Number 5. So guys, Gourgeist has always been a very awkward mon in League. This is a mon that I have used, and it's unique. Now, being a Ghost Grass type is a very solid typing. Ghost giving it that nice immunity to normal and fighting, while having the Ghost Grass typing means it's going to be resistant to ground, water, grass, and electric, while only having weaknesses to flying, ghost, fire, and ice. Now, on the surface, that's pretty good. Looking over its stats, we got nice 65 in HP, however, that differs based on which form of Gourgeist you wish to have. Because Gourgeist can come in 4 different forms: normal, large, small, and super. And as you see here, if you go in the super form, you can get up to 85 HP. Now, its stats vary in different forms, but essentially, the bigger it is, the more attack it'll have, and the slower it'll be. Its special attack, special defense, and defense all stay the same, with its HP and attack both going up by various amounts depending on the form. So Gourgeist Small has 55. Getting into normal form, it has 65. So they each go up by a certain amount, and that amount is 10 for HP and 5 for attack. So Gourgeist Small has 85 attack and 55 HP, whereas Normal has 65 HP, 90 attack. Pretty interesting mon. Not the most, and its speed just kind of goes all over the place. I'm not sure offhand if that's anything, but it's a thing. Either way, its abilities: Pickup, not actually useful. Frisk, very useful, giving you information in League, and this information is vital. So many people sleep on the Frisk ability, but Frisk lets you check: are they scarfed? Are they sashed? What item do they have? Frisk lets you do that. Insomnia is an okay ability as well, although on this mon I prefer Frisk. Looking at its move set, we have some very good utility moves such as Trick, Will-O-Wisp, Synthesis, Substitute, Pain Split, Magic Coat. We have very good tricks that we can do with this. Not even mentioning, I believe this thing gets Leech Seed. Let me find that out, guys. Yeah, it gets Leech Seed. Leech Seed. Light Screen. Does not get Reflect. Oh, well, guys. Destiny Bond, even with nerf, still useful. This thing has everything you want in a Ghost. It's bulky, it has the support moves. Offensively, it's a little iffy because your physical selections are a little bit poor. You have Flame Charge, you have Bullet Seed, you have Gyro Ball, Rock Slide, Shadow Sneak, but overall these moves are not what you're using Gourgeist for. You're using Gourgeist as a bulky support mon. And that's how you're going to use it. Is it the best mon? No. Is it a good tier 5 Ghost? Absolutely. Number 4. So guys, number 4, I actually have Golurk. And you may be thinking, well, why do you have Golurk? That's such a garbage Pokemon. And it's an okay Pokemon, I'll give you that. It's an okay Pokemon. So, looking into it, it has 3 immunities, normal, fighting, and electric. All ghosts have that nice normal fighting immunity, but having another immunity is never something to sleep on. Being resistant to poison at double resist. Rock, normal, and bug, normal. Always good. Only really having weaknesses to ghost, water, grass, ice, and dark. So, not the best typing in the world, but we'll get into why I chose this as number 4. So, looking at what this thing actually does. First of all, its stats. 89, pretty bulky. 124, which is huge attack. 80, okay defense. 80, okay special defense. And 55 in speed, 55 in special attack. So not the greatest on those, but this thing is bulky enough that it's going to take a hit and dish out some serious damage. And you got to remember, this is a tier 5. You're not going to get these god tier Pokemon. You're lucky that you're getting something with that has these stats, to be honest. Looking at its abilities, it can get no guard, meaning its moves will always hit. That's useful week to week. Klutz, I mean, you can't lose your item. That's pretty good to resist that knockoff. And then Iron Fist, pretty good for the punching, except for Sucker Punch. But Sucker Punch isn't really a punching move, guys. So, looking at what its moves actually get, it gets a lot of punching moves, as you would suspect. Drain Punch. As we go down here, Ice Punch. Keep going down a little more. Thunder Punch. Does it get Fire Punch, guys? I don't believe it does. It does get Fire Punch. So, Stealth Rock, Zen Headbutt, Superpower. This thing Shadow Punch. This thing Rock Slide. This thing gets, what I'm trying to say, guys, is that this thing gets good coverage. It gets good coverage. It gets EQ for that nice ground stab, guys. And this thing can dish out damage. This thing can take damage. You just got to be a little wary and pair this thing off well. Now, what you're going to be seeing here is a lot of these ghosts are slow, and they go very well with Trick Room teams. Now, that being said, this thing cannot set up Trick Room on its own. I mean, it's a good mon. Is it the best mon? No. If you need a ground type and you need a ghost type, by all means, pick up this thing. It is brilliant. Number 3. So what we got here is, at number 3, Dusknor. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dusknor, pretty slow, pretty bulky, but overall not the best Pokemon. And I agree, it's not the best, but it's good in tier 5 as a ghost. So being a pure ghost type means that this has only a weakness to dark and to ghost. It has immunities to normal and fighting, and it resists bug and poison. Pretty solid. Now, looking over this thing's stats before we go into abilities, because it really only gets pressure and frisk. And frisk, again, I prefer frisk. If you're trying to pee-pee stall, pressure is okay, but frisk is what I prefer. HP, 45, not the best. Attack at 100, this thing can dish out damage. Defenses at 135, now that is what makes this thing really good, or one of the things. 65 in special attack is not the best, meaning this thing really wants to be physical each time. And 45 in speed, meaning, again, this thing really wants to be on a Trick Room team. That being said, boom, it's a Trick Room user. So, the way that I use Dusknor, to be honest, it's support. Will-O-Wisp, Trick, Toxic, Taunt, Substitute, Sucker Punch. You get these awesome moves. You get Pain Split, you get your Protect, you get your Screen. I believe you only get Light Screen, but I'm not even positive on that. You don't get Light Screen. You get Memento. You get good supporting moves. Destiny Bond, Trick Room. This thing, you're not sending it out there as your be-all, end-all sweeper. You're sending this thing out there to set up a Trick Room, set up a Wonder Room, setting up. Now, again, Wonder Room, it's very situational, but you have access to it. And that's what this thing wants to do, is this thing, it wants to support your team. Your item, it can be lefties. If you're going hyper offense, I mean Assault Vest, you don't really need it though. I would suggest lefties on this. Number 2. At number 2, guys, I actually have Mismagius. You may be thinking, whoa, my gosh, Mismagius, why is that not number 1? And we'll see why. There's a reason. But Mismagius is actually one of the few ghosts on this list that actually can be fast. Now, before we go into anything, Mismagius is a pure ghost type with Levitate, meaning it is immune to ground, fighting, and normal. It has weaknesses to dark and ghost and is resistant to bug and poison, guys. I'm so sorry. So its stats: 60 in its HP, attack, and defense, and 105 in the special attack, special defense, and speed. This thing's pretty fast. This thing has good special defense, and this thing hits hard on the special side. Not an end-all be-all sweeper, but very good for tier 5. Looking over its moves, it gets good special coverage. It gets grass coverage through Energy Ball, fairy coverage through D-Gleam, dark coverage through Dark Pulse. And, you know, it keeps going on. But that's not all this thing can do, and many people get stuck in the rut of thinking Mismagius only good for special. It can do other things. It can set up. Calm Mind setting up is pretty good. It can set up you can use support moves like Destiny Bond, like Will-O-Wisp, like Trick. It can set up your subs. Most Pokemon can, but this thing can really make use of the subs because of Pain Split. It can do Nasty Plot. It can Magic Coat. It has access to Power Gem for that nice special rock attack. Perish Song. You have so many options with this thing that I am very surprised it doesn't get picked up more often. It's just one of the best ghost types in the tier, and honestly, I would say it's in probably it's easily in the top 10 ghost types in League play in general. So next time you need a ghost, why not think of getting Mismagius? Mystical Fire, 100% chance to lower the special attack? Pretty good. Number 1. So guys, at number 1, I actually have Dusclops. And I know what you're thinking. A lot of you are going to disagree, but I'm going to explain why I have Dusclops at number 1. Now, Dusclops, looking at its stats, are subpar. And we'll get into that in 1 second, because it is a pure ghost type. So just like Dusknor, it has the weakness to dark and ghost. It has the immunity to fighting and normal, and it is resistant to bug and poison. Just get that out of the way. 40 HP, not the best. 70 attack, not really doing too much damage. 60 special attack, 25 speed, need Trick Room. 130 in defenses. And this little item right here is your bread and butter. Eviolite, guys. Eviolite on this thing makes it take hits. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, only bad players fall to Eviolite. Well, I'll tell you what. I've seen some of the best League players lose to this thing because they just can't break through its bulk. It is comparable to a ghost type Chansey. Just let that sink in. Now, it's not exactly, because this thing's health is nowhere near Chansey's health, but this thing's defense is significantly better. Looking over its move pool, you don't really want this thing to do damage. Much like the other ghosts that have appeared on this list, you want this thing to be supporting your team. You have access to Destiny Bond, meaning that this thing should always get at least 1 kill when it's going down. You have access to Pain Split, meaning that this thing should be able to play around with your opponent's health and restore your own health. You have access to Nightshade, meaning you're getting a guaranteed 100 damage on non-normal types. You have access to Seismic Toss. That's really what you're going to switch out with Nightshade here and there, depending week to week. But this thing, Will-O-Wisp, Trick, Toxic. You don't want Trick. You want Toxic, you want Will-O-Wisp, you want Taunt. You got your nice Sucker Punch. Always good to have priority here and there. That's what this thing wants to do, guys. This thing doesn't want to come in, set up 37 Calm Minds, and try and sweep. It can do that, but what this thing is much better at doing is supporting your team. Hitting that nice Toxic, hitting that nice Will-O-Wisp, and then using a move like Hex. So guys, I have been Vampire 218 here. I'll go over the ability actually. It's the same as Dusknor, so obviously I use Frisk, but I've been Vampire 218 here, and I really hope you have enjoyed this series. If you have, please make sure that you leave a like, a comment, tell me what you think. I hope to do many different types in this series, and I'm hoping to do various overlays, things that fit the type. I thought this fit the ghost type, so that's what I did. I really hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!